What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. My name is Edgar. We're going over Saturday night's main event. The weekend show leading up to Royal Rumble just got done. We found out who the winner of the Fatal 4-Way match, and let's just say we kind of figured this. We kind of predicted this. We had a feeling who was going to win. We had a women's tag team match. AJ Styles faced Shinsuke Nakamura. And we're here to cover this all with the Snug Wrestling crew is here. Mr. Blood, Tommy, and Toxic. What's going on, fellas? Welcome back again. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. How's everyone feeling today?
Bad mood, honestly. Wrestling is supposed to be for escapism, help you kind of just suspend your disbelief and get out of your own life for a while and enjoy some good old fashioned wrestling. And I try to do that. And tonight, the card was just too fucking predictable, top to bottom, to distract me from the glaring issue that I've been having all day. Alex Preddy was a 37-year-old ICU nurse who was in Minneapolis, Minnesota this morning around 9 a.m. and he was filming ICE agents who were harassing two women in the street. Now, upon walking up on these guys while filming them, the ICE agents take umbrage with it. He backs up with the women, Alex, that is, and an ICE agent, a grown man, decides to full force shove a woman to the ground hard as he can, sends her off her feet back first. Alex Preddy, being the only real man in the situation, who is a licensed firearms carrier, he has a permit to carry a firearm on him, doesn't even draw it. He still has his cell phone out. He gets in between the ICE agent and these two women, and he even puts his hand to push the ICE agent back, who's trying to walk down the woman he's already shoved to the ground. This results in the ICE agent pepper spraying him in the face 4 times while he tried to help the woman up off the ground. He proceeds to try to shield this woman with his body while his eyes are burning, gets drug off of him 8 feet away, and viciously beat half to death by 6 agents total, who then, while they had him in fetal, had already removed the firearm that was concealed on his person with a permit, and then proceeded to pistol whip him in the face 4 times with their gun, while he was already in fetal, while he was already perfectly in range for detainment, shielding his eyes while they were burning, and reaching out to stop them from attacking him further. Then one agent decides to stand up and shoot this man while he's on the ground, unarmed, in fetal, shoots him twice, while another agent stands up and begins to unload another fucking 7 shots into this man's body, killing him in front of everybody right there on the street for trying to stand up and defend a woman. And I wanted to watch the show tonight, and I wanted to remind myself, hey, it's wrestling. But wrestling in and of itself was always meant to be escapism. It was meant to be good old-fashioned American entertainment. American. What's American? And the whole time I'm watching wrestling, we're being reminded why I love being an American, because this is professional wrestling. This is, a beloved American entertainment pastime. I could not get the word American out of my head, and being constantly reminded about how un-American we seem to be as a country right now. Division and separation where wrestling should bring us together. It was so glaring. Renee Good was one thing. This was cold-blooded murder. And then they tried to call him a domestic terrorist in the news when he was defending his fellow man and got killed for standing up for a woman. Rest in peace to Alex Preddy, a man who had a career helping people in the hospital, died trying to protect somebody still. With his last breath, he was more of a fucking man than any one of you fucks who killed him in the fucking street. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You're worthless sacks of shit. And you are the most un-American people I've ever fucking seen for a group of fucks who scream patriotism and scream about trying to get the people who aren't American out of here. They're all more American than you. This is not Gestapo. This is not 1930s fucking Nazi Germany. You are uneducated, untrained, heartless, soulless fucks. And you're not worthy of the fucking badges, guns, and vests that you so proudly wear while we all spit in your direction. And today was the largest protest in American fucking history in 70 years in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Businesses, schools, everything shut down that wasn't a necessity. And the entirety of Minneapolis gathered in the streets. 10,000 fucking people. Unacceptable. I watched wrestling to escape, and I couldn't do that tonight.
Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Blood. I saw something about that earlier today on social media, obviously, but I thought it was just like some bullshit propaganda because of what happened recently, with the woman that, got murdered by ICE or
Renee
whatever.
Good.
Yes, thank you. And I was like, no, there's no way this shit happened again. But no, it did. It happened again, not even like a week later. And it's just crazy the time that we're living in right now, man. Like if that wasn't bad enough the first time that it happened, and I'm not the person that's really knowledgeable when it comes to politics and everything that's happening in the world, but it doesn't take someone that's in politics. It doesn't take someone that's really smart or knowledgeable or people that really watches the news all the time to realize like what the fuck is going on. Like I'm really in the outside of everything, right?
And
I heard.
I'd like to point out
Mm-hmm,
there is nothing political about this. The government is trying to make it political. This is an issue of right and wrong. Politics be damned, go fuck themselves. People's agendas go fuck themselves. This is about right and wrong. This guy died doing the right thing, and he was killed for all the wrong reasons.
yeah,
And that's the problem here. And that's the same
yeah.
issue with me and Nicole Good. Tried to flee and leave a scene where she was terrified out of her mind, and she got shot 3 times in the face for it. Right and wrong. No politics here.
No, yeah. I mean, again, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm like a 5-year-old, bro. And even a 5-year-old can tell you like this is bullshit. What's happening right now? Like what the fuck? How is this even happening, This is insane, bro. And I hate to do this, but we have a wrestling show to talk about tonight, but I'm glad that you brought this up so we can use our platform to also bring this situation up, because it's really important because this is what's happening in the real world. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Blood. But we also got Tommy and Toxic here. You guys don't have to comment on this stuff. We'll let the rest of the world talk about this just happened, right? So we'll see what happens with all of this. But when it comes to the show itself, this weekend, Saturday night's main event that happened in Canada in Montreal, um, we're gonna try to liven this up a little bit, go back to positive vibes, right? What were you guys' thoughts about this overall show? And I would like to get started with Toxic. Toxic, welcome. How you doing, bro?
Fucking cold. I'm cold. Um, Show was overall amazing. I thought it was not really good, but I liked the show tonight. I mean, yes, some of the matches were okay. Two in particular, one wasn't even a match, but still, my point still stands. Um, so it was an overall mid show for me. There was two matches that I liked, two that I didn't, one that I sort of liked, but just those are in the lower parts of where I rank the matches for tonight. But I'm really excited to talk about um, the show and try to live up the mood because the world is a fucked up place.
Yeah.
Yes, the fuck it is. But when it comes to the show itself, I actually watched it with a buddy of mine over at his place. He immediately thought, hey, this guy's going to win the Fatal 4-Way. He immediately went for Randy Orton when I asked him about it. He said either Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre. Not Drew McIntyre. Bleh. Or Damian Priest. I mean, my brain does not like me today. Earlier I said fucking towing costs in the car on the way back when I was talking about how it just randomly was brought up yesterday. So there is one match that is not a match whatsoever. I immediately, right after, like midway through, 5 minutes into it, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put not applicable because it just wasn't going to end up being a match. But we will get to that literally here in a second.
Me? The show, aside from what I said earlier, even though it was hard for me to pay attention to it, it was fully predictable. Everything I predicted, I got. I mean, if we were on a point system, I got everything right. I mean, look, you can't look. I even said if I had to pick, it needed to be Cody because he just lost the title, right? But I also said you can't pin Jacob either. He just got back and Cody just lost the title. So you're either going to kill Cody's momentum or he loses credibility or Jacob's momentum is immediately halted right upon arrival. And I said this on the predictions. You book yourself into a fucking corner. And the same thing, the women's title match, tag title match. You didn't just put it on Io and Rhea to make them transitional champions. Okay, and then with AJ and freaking Shinsuke, AJ was a foregone conclusion. What, are you gonna have him lose a week ahead of a career on the line match? And then the Fatal 4-Way. I said Sammy emphatically for a couple of weeks now because the show was in Canada, and a week from tonight they will be in Saudi Arabia for the Rumble, and fucking Sammy is the biggest star they could put in that position in a championship match to appease the Saudi nation. It was so predictable. Everything was a foregone conclusion. Aside from the fact that a lot of the in-ring work I thought was decent to good. Some of it kind of sloppy. And then at the end of the day, though, when a show sometimes is too predictable, it's hard to get enjoyment out of it because you just know what's going to happen anyway. That's like if like Avengers Doomsday comes out this December. You think I want to watch it in theaters if the Russo brothers came out and just told me exactly how it ends? No. Now I'm like, well, why would I go pay to watch in theaters? Give me 3 months, it'll be on Disney Plus, you know? So it was hard to really enjoy the show when just everything was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it really was. That's what it felt like to me too. So before the show started, I saw a report that there was going to be some talent that was going to get affected by the conditions that's happening in the East Coast. I know Toxic and Tommy, you guys have been talking about some of the weather conditions that you guys are dealing with over there. And Joe Tessitore was supposed to be at the Saturday night's main event, but he didn't show up. Stephanie McMahon was the one that opened up the show and mentioned the fact that, well, Joe Tessitore was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it due to weather conditions. How's it going over there for you guys? I know you guys are in Texas and Illinois, but Joe Tessitore couldn't make it to the show. What the hell is happening over there in the East Coast?
For me here in Texas, it's not much is happening right now. It's super icy out on the road, grass, cars, everything. Everything's frozen, and we're supposed to be getting freezing precipitation or rain, whatever you want to call it. You fucking nerd. I'm kidding. But yeah, it's supposed to get real bad here soon.
Toxic, we're all fucking nerds and you know it. But yeah, over here in Illinois, it is extremely fucking cold. Like, we're over here talking 3 feels like -19. It is cold as all hell. Right now, as we are filming, it is snowing. So that is
Lucky
that.
bastard.
And I heard that it is only supposed to snow even worse throughout the next couple of days. So Illinois is definitely going to be extremely bipolar up here.
Not me and Snug sitting in Florida and California, respectively.
No, yeah, we're chilling over here. But one of my concerns when I saw that report, I was like, oh my god, is hopefully the talent makes it to Canada. I was like, man, God forbid that someone like Sammy or Trick Williams or someone from the main event can't make it to the show because of weather conditions. I'm like, that's gonna fuck up the whole show. But it was just Joe Tessitore. It's all right. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I saw some of that footage from Chicago on TikTok today. Like your whole Bay Area is like frozen over with like ripples of ice and it looks like a wave of clouds like every time the water moves. And I was like, damn. And they were like, everybody was like, oh, Illinois or Chicago apparently is officially colder than Antarctica. I was like, well, it's summer in Antarctica. So, or Alaska or whatever. It's colder than Alaska. And I'm like, it's summer in Alaska. But even then, like, there's some viral thing going on about some terrible super weather storm. And I'm just like, well, I hang off. Florida is essentially the dick of the United States. We just hang it off into the ocean. So we're chilling over here in the trop, So, we had snow literally in this state 4 days ago. It was like 74 or 5 degrees today.
Yeah,
That's
I
what's up.
legitimately sent a video to a couple of friends of mine, and I said the next time somebody from a different country complains that and just full blown says, "Hey, my country is colder than America," the first thing that you should ask them is, do they have exploding trees when it gets freezing fucking cold?
Well, Russia's a tundra, so probably.
That's the only place that gets the complaint.
Yeah, Greenland.
All right, well, we got to talk about some wrestling at some point tonight, right?
Wrestling the cold.
The opening match, the match that was supposed to take place, but it didn't. Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. Jacob Fatu jump started Cody Rhodes. The bell never rang. These two motherfuckers just fought everywhere. They fought on the stage. They fought at ringside. They fought on the crowd. They beat the fuck out of each other. We did not get a wrestling match, bro. And not only that, Drew McIntyre got involved and went after Cody Rhodes. And I'm like, okay. I love the chaos. I love the pandemonium and all that, all the shenanigans, right? It's fun. It's a good way to kick off the show. We started off hot. But I'm like, why? Okay, Cody Rhodes has beef with, Drew McIntyre has beef with both Cody and Jacob Fatu. Why does he need to get involved here? Why does he need to, bro? If I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm stepping back and I'm letting both of these motherfuckers kill each other. But no, Drew McIntyre ran in. He got his hands on Cody. And it was fun to watch, but I just don't get this, man. I don't understand any of this. As fun as it was to see, this made no sense to me. And I don't know what you guys saw, but this just left me more confused than anything.
Now you're starting to see where my problem with this feud has been from the beginning. Now it doesn't make sense. Like, Jesus Christ. I've been saying this shit for a fucking month and a half and getting crucified for it. Look, imagine being so excited for the first ever Jacob versus Cody match. You pay astronomical fucking prices even for a goddamn Saturday night's main event. You even pay for front row because maybe Cody's your ultimate guy. He's the biggest star in the company and he's the face of the company. And it's a first time ever, matchup. And you pay like $700 to $1,400 a fucking ticket for front row or the first 3 rows. And they wrestle everywhere behind you. And it's basically just a giant brawl that then gets a run in on the brawl. And the whole time you're like, well, that was the main match I came to see, because you're hoping maybe it goes on, last, or it goes on second to last, because it had main event potential. Even though we know the Fatal 4-Way was always going to have that spot, but still, it's like, this is the opener, and all I could think was, no wonder it's the opener. You guys basically false advertised people. Jacob versus Cody in a one-on-one matchup was false fucking advertisement, because it was just a brawl that never had a start to the match. The bell never rings, and they go everywhere but the fucking ring, except for ringside when Jacob nearly breaks his neck doing a moonsault barrel, and he completely misses Cody by like 5 feet and hits everybody else that's not holding Cody, and then they all just do that stupid fall down shit together. And I'm like, bro. All I thought the whole time was, dude, I'm so glad that I will never pay to go see a Saturday night's main event live, because it's literally just a filler house show where they're like, we'll do anything and people will deal with it, because it's not a major PLE, so we can get away with not giving them a match that we fucking advertised as a match. I'd be pissed off. I basically tonight watched a brawl and then 3 matches. Fucking stupid.
I enjoyed this because, I mean, yes, I was actually hoping for a match, but this is also fine because now that I saw this, I want to see these two start the Rumble. I want to see these two start the Rumble so we can actually, one, get the bell to fucking ring, and two, well, actually, that the bell rings after. What, does the bell ring before they come out or after? I don't know. I think it's usually after. Okay, so
it rings twice.
Oh, it does. Okay.
It rings, ding, ding, ding. Now we're ready for the Royal Rumble match. Then when they're in the ring, then it rings again.
Okay, so thanks for clearing that up. But yeah, I want to see them to start the Rumble so we can actually get the bell to fucking ring, and two, so they can just kill each other in an actual match instead of a brawl. So I thought this was fine. Drew getting involved was fucking stupid because you literally sat there and said, Cody, you're not getting a rematch unless you win the fucking Rumble, which I don't see happening. So why get involved? Get involved in the Fatal 4-Way. Not this.
I think the reason why he got involved is because of the fact that Jacob has been attacking him all this time. Like, yes.
But didn't he go after Cody first?
He went after Jacob and then Cody.
Yeah, he pushed Jacob all the way off and through a table first. But he told us why he did this afterwards with Jackie Redmond. He literally said, I went out there and attacked because I'm sending a message to the whole locker room. Anybody who thinks they're going to get near me or to try to get near this championship is going to get the same thing they got, yada, yada. He did it to send a message. Only here's the problem, dude. If you want to hold on to your title, maybe don't attack the 2 people who have the biggest fucking beef with you and want your title.
Yeah. So when it comes to this was the one match that I just put fucking NA with before Drew McIntyre got involved. Because at that point, as soon as they started going up the stairs, I'm like, we're not getting a match out of this, are we? Hell, as soon as security came out, I knew we weren't getting a damn match out of this. So there is that. It is pretty quick and all of that. There was no possible way that we were actually going to get a match, unfortunately. Even though we absolutely should have, because that would have been a banger of a match.
Yeah, man. Oh, god damn it, man. Yeah, this opening match, it wasn't even a match, but
I don't even know what they plan on doing with this either, because the report said that this was going to be a 3-way feud. That was the original plan before Jacob got injured. How are you working this? If Cody's not going to win the Rumble, are you really going to have them filler feud at Chamber against Drew in a 3-way? so then we can figure out who's the champion going into Mania. That's what I got to assume is happening here. That they're gonna have Cody lose and Jacob lose the Rumble, and they're gonna keep their feud going until Chamber in a 3-way. Whoever wins the 3-way is the champion at Mania, and we won't know who's gonna make the most sense to verse Drew at Mania until we see who be the champion at Mania, till we see who the fuck wins the Rumble and who the fuck wins the Elimination Chamber contendership for the opposite title. So I'm just like, this is like all filler shit that's also confusing shit worse.
Yes, it is. But also, the main point that I got, at least from Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, from what their comments, what they were saying, that I picked up on is Drew McIntyre was the one that left this whole situation with Cody and Jacob Fatu standing tall. Drew McIntyre was the one that left walking out. Cody and Jacob Fatu were laid out. So they were trying to establish Drew McIntyre like, oh, look, this is our champion. This is the guy who looks stronger than everybody else. And I think that was the point that they were trying to get across. But I don't really know if they did a very good job of solidifying that, you know?
They didn't, in my opinion, because what did he do? He sneak attacked Jacob and threw him through a table, and he low blowed Cody and then power bombed him through a table. That doesn't say strength to me as a champion. To me, that's chicken shit heel gets one over on the baby faces because he cheap shots them both and then runs away after they were already exhausted and beaten the shit out of each other. Like, that's not like showing strength in a champion to me. That's just chicken shit heel does chicken shit heel shit.
No, you're right. I got that same feeling too. That's why I brought up that question, because I'm just like, if you guys really wanted to show this is our champion, this is our guy, this is the guy that is, you know, the face of the company, did not really feel that way. Complete miss, if I'm being honest, unfortunately, because I love Drew McIntyre, but we'll see what happens with that. The next match, the women's tag team match for the women's tag team champions, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, the champions, versus Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez. Again, we kind of figured how this thing was going to go. You know, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky just won the tag team titles not that long ago. It was kind of hard to say, yeah, you know, they're going to drop the titles and they're going to lose to Liv Morgan and Roxanne. Didn't really go that way. Like we said earlier, pretty predictable, right? However, we saw an unexpected run-in from Raquel Rodriguez. She got involved. I was pretty shocked by that. I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And then Stephanie Vaquer comes out for the save to even out the odds. And Stephanie Vaquer is running down the ramp. She's not wearing the leg brace anymore. She's looking better. And she fights off Raquel Rodriguez, the biggest member of the faction. She takes out the biggest threat of the faction, which basically leads to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky retaining, which, I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen, right? But I couldn't help but shake that feeling off that, like, okay, the only reason Rhea and Io won was because of Stephanie Vaquer. Although I did like the angle because we're building up Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. I was like, well, fuck. I mean, what a way to make your women's tag team champions look kind of weak, right?
I mean, it's funny too when you think about it, because I mean, if this was Rhea in 2023 or the very beginning of last year, she'd be running through Liv and Roxanne like wet tissue paper. Like, I mean, Io on her own was taking Rhea to fucking church for the majority of all their feuds they've had in the entirety of their time in the WWE together. So I find it funny, but the moment the ref bump happened, I was like, Stephanie Vaquer is coming out, because I already knew if the ref goes down, heel gets involved. The only heel that could get involved has got to be Raquel. That tells me Stephanie's coming out. And I knew it. I couldn't believe the moment the ref went down. Within 5 seconds, my brain was like predictability all the way to the finish. And I was like, because they also trying to sow seeds of the Judgment Day. Raquel failed in helping Liv and Roxanne, gain those tag team championships. But at the same time, again, like, you don't go through a damn near fucking calendar year of story with Rhea and Io just to have them finally win them and become transitional champions. It just doesn't make fucking sense. So obviously they were going to retain here through straight just shenanigans, or they were going to retain clean. So it is what it was. And it kind of did make the champs look weak, but it also reinforced the idea to me that I was like, why is Raquel still involved with this world title scene with Stephanie? I don't get world title vibes from Raquel. I haven't gotten world title vibes from Raquel, and maybe I'm in the minority, for about 3.5 years, since they were referring to her as Bakel Rodriguez when she was a massive babyface, and the one person on the roster, if you remember, that Rhea Ripley was afraid of. And now she's getting her ass beat by someone half her size that, like, I'm just like, come on. So it's just like, okay, they retain, whatever.
Yeah, I'm tired of like the quote unquote seeds for the breakup of the Judgment Day that's been going on since for fucking ever. Like, just either do it or don't do it. I mean, just decide, make up your mind. Just, I mean, and that they may not even be doing that. We could just be thinking that they're doing that. But the match overall was okay. It was definitely second on the lowest, like so you got Jacob and Cody, and then Rio and the Judgment Day. This match was okay, but there was just something missing, and as soon as I saw Raquel come out, I'm like, Stephanie Vaquer. And it wasn't even like before she was power bombing Io. It was like as I saw her pull Rhea out, I was like, Stephanie Vaquer. So this match was predictable. Probably the only predictable thing on the card for me, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, not that bad of a match, but not that good of a match.
Do we even know when the hell this world title match is actually happening?
I'm assuming it's going to get announced for Rumble at this point come Monday. I'm assuming.
It's got to be Rumble, because if it's not, what the fuck? Just get this match through. You've been trying to build this damn thing up. It has already been set in stone for the past month and a half now. So do it already. Please do this damn world title match already. But when it comes to the tag match itself, yeah, it was pretty predictable. As soon as the ref got pulled out, I'm like, well, I don't even have to know who the hell that is to know who the hell that is. Plain and simple. There's only one person who can do it. That being Raquel Rodriguez, which would then lead to Stephanie Vaquer coming out. No boot, in which I'm extremely happy about that. That definitely means we're getting this match sooner rather than later. So this entire match was just predictable. So happy that my girls Rio won this, though. It's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do against Julia and Kiana James and when that tag match is going to happen.
Shout out to Kevin, who says that part, Io Sky not even hit Roxanne Perez with her moonsault. So I think Kevin saw a possible botch during that match. But when it comes to this women's world heavyweight championship match, we've seen this done time and time again where they tease, in the build up before PLE, where we think that the match is going to take place at a PLE, for example, Royal Rumble, but I would not be surprised if they do this match at like a main event at like a Monday Night Raw.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing here is too, what's aggravating to me about this whole Raquel and Stephanie thing is that, look, I'm happy that Raquel's getting a chance. I'm happy she's getting a shot. That's great. Good for her. My problem is they're spending so much time building up this match when they have to know not a single fucking fan out there buys Raquel taking it off of Stephanie. That's the biggest thing. You've been building Stephanie up on the main roster for closing in on about, 9 months now, 10 months. You're going to put the title on her right before Mania season, but not let her run through the end of Mania season when you spent this much time building her up as, a newer big face of your women's division. Come on. So it's hard for me to sit here and believe for a millisecond that Raquel is actually a real threat to her reign, because I don't buy it. Unless Stephanie gets injured for real before Mania, she's going to be the champion at Mania.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, but who do you put versus Stephanie Vaquer at Mania? Do you put Raquel Rodriguez?
Hell no. And no offense to Raquel, come on. You know it's not a marquee match, and this is not her fault. Raquel is not. I don't look at Mania and think Raquel Rodriguez on a marquee because they haven't booked her that way.
Fair enough. But who do you put on there?
Honestly, I see there's 3 possibilities.
Really? 3? That's a lot. Okay.
Stephanie versus AJ, unless they do Becky versus AJ.
They are.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I think Stephanie versus AJ if AJ doesn't go to Becky.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rhea versus Stephanie on the grandest stage of them all. Or I think a triple threat between Io, Stephanie, and Rhea.
Oh, I like that last one. a lot.
I can see the last 2 being extremely likely. Hell, I'll do you one better. Fatal 4-way, because you throw Liv Morgan in there.
Boys, what do you think?
Let that man cook.
Yeah, definitely let blood cook. But the problem here is that this Rumble, which we'll do predictions for next week, is extremely hard to fucking call on the women's side of things. Because we don't know, because there's almost no fucking lead up to anything.
That's
on the women's
That
side.
is true.
It's so true. The men's side, side is vastly more predictable because we all know there's like 3 options we all just see. Braun Breaker, freaking Sami Zayn, or Roman Reigns. Those are the 3 options everybody and their grandma thinks. I'm not even saving it for predictions because everybody's thinking it. When it comes to the women's side, dude, because all the main eventers are in the fucking tag division, which is great for the tag division, I can't honestly see who's breaking out to become the solo runner to Mania.
The only one that I can think of, and I'm gonna break my own rules because usually I'm the one that's like, save it for the predictions, but I'm gonna say it right here tonight. I think Jordynne Grace is the one that's gonna win the Women's Royal Rumble.
I think if not her, it's probably gonna be Liv, because they had a lot of big plans for Liv. But when you really look top to bottom, Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown, do you really see anybody who's been built up on their own enough to be like, yeah, I can see you dumping your tag team ahead of time to go on a singles run? I don't, because they spend so much time with these women in the singles division. It would have to be someone extremely new, a surprise that we're all fucking forgetting. No one wants to see Becky win it again. No one needs to see. Rhea doesn't need to win it. You could argue a returning Bianca Belair comes in and shocks everybody. Jade Cargill's already a fucking champion. Raquel ain't winning that shit. Asuka and Kyrie, hell fucking no. Not Nia, not Lash Legend, not Kiana.
Bro, I
So
hate
it's
to
like,
say it,
who the
dog.
fuck?
I hate to say it, bro, but what if they pull some shit and they make fucking Maxine Dupree win the bitch?
I thought about that. But again, same thing as Raquel. As much as I love Maxine, she's not the fan. By the way, well, here's the difference. The fans are actually 10 times more behind Maxine than they are with Raquel. So Maxine
Yeah.
would make more sense because she's got a lot of fanfare, because she's an underdog and they love her for that. But I don't think she's ready for that spot yet. Maybe next year, Mania. Let's see what they do with her this year. But when it comes down to it, to me, Liv is the only option.
Yeah.
Because Jordan
makes
Grace
sense.
is already vying for Jade, and she's already getting a shot at Jade. So I don't see her needing to win the Rumble to do that.
God damn, I hate agreeing with you, Blood, but you're right.
Sucks being this damn fucking on point all the time.
It does.
Makes being married difficult. I am a man who does win every argument.
All right, let's talk about Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. This was a match that when I first heard about it, I was like all for it. I was like, bet, 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 bet. I hate to break it to you guys. No, I mean, I don't like spoilers, but the reports have been going around that AJ Styles is reportedly scheduled, planned, expected to lose at the Royal Rumble. So they wanted to do this last match versus Shinsuke Nakamura before AJ Styles retires at the Royal Rumble, which is literally next fucking week, which is crazy to think about because apparently AJ Styles' WWE contract is going to expire in February. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news or whatever, but that's the rumor that's going around right now. So that's the reason why they had this match versus Shinsuke Nakamura, right? As much as I was really looking forward to this match, yeah, I was excited for this. When the match started, I lost interest because I already knew that AJ Styles was going to win. He has to win this match because AJ Styles is going to face Gunther at the Royal Rumble and he has to win. There's no way AJ Styles was going to lose this match before his match versus Gunther. So, again, predictable. Yes, Shinsuke Nakamura is a legend. AJ Styles is a legend. They have history. But it was kind of hard for me to care about what was happening in this match because it was obvious, right? What'd you guys think?
I mean, it's kind of weird, right? I feel the same way about this match that I did about John Cena versus AJ at the end of last year. It's a match I really want to see that I've already seen several fucking times. And I knew John Cena was beating AJ, but that didn't stop me being happy that the match was happening. Mainly because when we got the match, it was because I'll tell you my two favorite matches of last year, my top two matches of last year. Punk versus Gunther, night one at SummerSlam, is my favorite fucking match of last year. What a wrestling fucking clinic. That's how you do it, boys. And number two was not for wrestling ability, but because of what it meant to wrestling. John Cena versus AJ. So when I look at this, I go, well, hey, man, these guys got history. People really forget just how insanely amazing and good Shinsuke Nakamura is. And AJ Styles is fucking phenomenal. And yeah, you goddamn right. That is not me. I want you to take that pun and shove it up your ass. It's true. But when the match started, I was a little somber because I was like, I have this pit in my stomach because I also saw the report that his contract's up next month. And I was like, this is nowhere near as hype as it should be if this is the last time they face. It had nothing to do with them in the ring. It had everything to do with me feeling like this deserved so much more fanfare going in because I don't think people believe AJ's going out next week. And if by some miracle he doesn't, and let's just say he signed a secret contract extension, we'll find out on the next season of Unreal. And let's say he signs like a 3-month extension to get to Mania and they do it there. I still think that a match like this that's so close to home for AJ deserved more promotion from WWE. John Cena's farewell tour in and of itself was the promotion of their match. With this one, I felt like these guys both deserved more pomp and circumstance if this is their wrestling goodbye to each other. I enjoyed the match regardless. The work was great. Finish was right. And it's just a little somber. Of course, predictable ending. But if it comes to next week and Gunther does actually beat AJ, and let's just say there is no mythical, wished and hoped for on my part anyway, contract extension from AJ to get him to a Mania retirement match where he could run it back with Gunther at Mania, in my opinion. I'm hoping that they're doing it and that AJ is going to be the second announcee for the Hall of Fame this year, right next to Stephanie McMahon.
Oh God, this is why I hate Gunther even fucking more. Because I mean, just why? Just fucking why? I mean, just at least let AJ go out at Mania. That at least you can at least let him do that. But at the fucking Rumble, no, no. And I know I've said this before, but I hate this legend killer or whatever the fuck you want to call him, career ender, career killer, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to call it, I don't fucking like it. It's annoying. I mean, just you took out Goldberg, good. No one gives a shit. You took out John Cena, fuck you. You're probably gonna take out AJ, good. Fuck you. But there is one person that I know he will never get close to touching, and that is the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He will never, Gunther will never beat that motherfucker. Um, but yes, Shinsuke and AJ was an absolute fucking classic. It always is every time we see it. This was match of the night for me. I loved this match. Everything from Shinsuke selling the knee, from not even hitting, blah, 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 not even getting to hit the Kinshasa. Just absolute perfect. Chef's kiss. Like, if there was a Hall of Fame for just matches, which I don't know if there is, there probably is. I'm not sure. But if there's a Hall of Fame for just matches, put this motherfucker in there. That is a classic. Overall match of the night for me, and then obviously you know where the Fatal 4-Way goes for me.
Here's what makes this even better and what makes this hurt even more for if he does lose next week. His entrance, AJ Styles' entrance. He said before the show today that he had gear prepped for the Rumble, special gear prepped for the Rumble, but thought that he would wear it tonight because it fits better for tonight. And I see why now. Because the last time we saw AJ Styles in a fucking mask, it was years ago, I believe in like New Japan or something like that, against Shinsuke Nakamura. So suddenly, him saying that the gear that he had special made for Rumble, he would wear tonight because it fits better here, it made so much more sense after I saw the beginning of his entrance, after I saw that mask that he was wearing, and then Michael Cole brought up how long it had been since the last time we saw him in one. It suddenly all clicked why he wore it tonight instead of the Rumble.
All right, y'all. we got to talk about the main event of the night, which, I was really looking forward to this, man. Fatal four-way match. Number one contenders. The winner of this match is going to face Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, right? We got Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Randy Orton, and Damian Priest. This thing, going into this thing, the build up for it was really good, man. I gotta admit, because although this thing was in Canada, Sami Zayn was a hometown hero. You also got Randy Orton. You also got Trick Williams, who came in hot on from NXT, came into SmackDown, and that's who I was rooting for. I wanted to Trick Williams to go all the way. You got Damian Priest, a former world heavyweight champion, right? This thing can go any way. Although we all kind of knew Sami Zayn was a favorite to win this thing because the Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia. Business sense would tell you that the right guy to win this is Sami Zayn. Although he was not my favorite to win it, Sami Zayn won it, which is what everyone predicted. Everyone expected this to happen. Sami Zayn won the Fatal 4-Way, but it was a dope Fatal 4-Way match, even though I hate these multi-man matches. It was a fun main event. It was an entertaining main event. They did it in a way where, even though the outcome was pretty predictable, I still had that feeling that, oh shit, maybe Sami Zayn was not going to win this thing. So it was a really fun main event. But Sami Zayn won. Sami Zayn is going to the Rumble. A really good main event, if I'm being honest.
Not everybody predicted Sami was going to. We have these two yuckles over here who were against it. When it comes down to it, or Toxic was against it, but when it came down to it, I said for over a month now, it was Sami and he was a foregone conclusion. I said it because business-wise, sometimes you got to take yourself out of as a fan and looking at it as how a business would do things. And business-wise, if I'm in Canada where Sami was born, I'm going to put Sami over to pop the crowd, good feels, send him home happy. If I am in Saudi Arabia and Sami is the underdog and he is the biggest star in Saudi because he is Syrian, well, business sense tells me I'm going to book him in the biggest match possible to, again, pop the crowd, make the audience happy, knowing that Sami is a fantastic wrestler, know that you're going to get one hell of an athletic main event and a competitive main event, and then go from there. It just made sense. This was all predictable. The match was fun. It was great. It was well booked. Trick Williams looked fucking amazing tonight. I think they all looked amazing tonight, to be honest with you. But again, hard to stay invested in a match when you know the outcome so wholeheartedly, like I did, like so many others did. That being said, and I raised the question, what if Sami actually beat Drew McIntyre next week? Like, literally, ask yourself this question. Because we know that Sami had to win here tonight because of the city they were in. Because we know that Sami had to be the one to go on to face Drew because it's in Saudi. Ask yourself this. WWE is all about business. What if they actually have full intention of taking that title off of Drew in Saudi and putting it on Sami, and then Drew just wins it back from him a little bit later, maybe at Elimination Chamber or something?
Possible. Very possible. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be against it. I mean, there's a part of me that would be skeptical about it because I mean, Drew just won the damn thing. But I mean, if they're right there in Saudi, why not take it off of Drew right there, then and there? And I don't give a fuck what all the IWC dickheads say. They're in Saudi. They could very well take it off of Sami and get a huge reaction out of it. The match itself was fucking fine. No complaints whatsoever. Everyone looked like $1,000,000. And I did not know that Damian Priest got stitches in the top of his mouth. So I bet that hurt.
The only thing I would say, the only problem I could see there being, sorry, Tommy, before let's say they did put it on Sammy. They turned Drew into a transitional champion. That's not good. Then let's say Sammy wins it and they put it back on Cody or Drew ahead of WrestleMania on a SmackDown or on the Chamber. Then you've automatically turned Sammy into a transitional champion, and that's not good either. So we're just going to have to wait and see what WWE plans to do business-wise. Because either way, you screw both men unless you let Sammy win it and let him take it to Mania. You just made Drew a transitional champion. And if you have Sammy go up against Drew and lose, no one's ever going to believe Sammy can win the big one because he's lost twice now when it really counted.
You say that, but my thought process on this is simple. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I don't think he's winning it next week. I really don't. Because my main thought process is this. Why put it on him at the Rumble when the bigger stage in Saudi Arabia is just 1 year away? WrestleMania is in Saudi Arabia next year. And that would be the bigger spot to get the even bigger pop for Sami Zayn winning his first world title.
I agree. I said that before. I think it makes more sense to just do it then. You just have to hope the fans don't fully lose faith in Sammy's ability to get the big one done. You also have to hope that they're willing to hang around on him for a whole year to get back to that spot.
They did with Cody for 2.
Cody is not Sammy, and Sammy's not Cody.
True. But my thoughts on the match, it was fine. There was a couple spots where I'm like, oh, maybe Trick Williams got it because he's got it really, really close and all of that. Of course, though, it had to be Sammy. There was one spot where he was on the ropes, and I did see him slip a little bit. Like he was just about to slip off and lose his balance, but he was able to keep it up there. I believe it was on the top rope, and it was like middle of the rope or close to it. So at that spot, I thought, oh, maybe he's going to fall off and all of that. That did not end up happening. Thank God. But still, the match itself, fine. I did not think that Damian Priest was going to be the one to take the pin, though. Mainly,
Did he?
I thought it was going to be Randy because I thought Randy would be able to handle it better.
It was Damian, though? That makes sense, though. If it was Damian, that makes sense.
I thought out of all of them, the bigger moment, especially for Sammy, since he's one of the ones who hasn't won a world title yet, is if you pin the not only just Randy Orton, but the 14-time world champion.
Randy Orton has been super protected ever since he came back, right?
I definitely, well, yeah, I mean, they did lose to Drew and Logan at SummerSlam, but he did lose to John Cena last year. But I do think that Randy should have eaten the pin because it's fucking Randy Orton. No, you could have fucking Tozawa pin him and it wouldn't take the shine off of Randy because it's fucking Randy.
No, we're not going to talk about Tozawa, bro.
Listen to me. It is Randy fucking Orton. He could get pinned by a broomstick and people would still pop for him, still chant RKO, still love him because it's happy Unk Randy. When it comes to Damian, they have pulled the momentum out of him so fucking far. You could send a hurricane at this man and the breeze would not be able to push him forward. They have got to stop fucking taking the wind out of this man's sails. They let him beat Aleister Black in a feud no one gave a fuck about. They let him beat Drew in a feud that wasn't over anything but anger from a year prior that people had already forgotten about. And it's just like you've relegated him to the mid card. You've taken him out of the world title scene. Now he's finally back in the world title scene. Now he eats the pin. Do not make him the utility player now when you spent a year and a half building him up. Randy could have easily walked off that loss. This just hurts Damian's credibility at this point.
Fair enough. Closing thoughts, fellas, before we get up out of here.
Tommy, any thought to finish? Toxic?
Just the fact that I just felt like Randy absolutely, like even momentum-wise, there was no possible way that taking one pin from Sami Zayn was really going to hurt him much at all. Any of these guys could have pinned him, and it still would have been just fine for Randy Orton. We knew for a fact that Trick Williams wasn't going to take the damn pin because, he literally just came up a month ago. So that wasn't happening. Sami Zayn, hometown hero. You pin him, people are going to be pissed in Montreal. So, not happening. Just like with what he said, you do Damian and you relegate him to stay in the damn mid card, even though you just brought him back up to the main level where he belongs. So out of the four of them, I thought, Randy was for sure taking this pin.
Yeah, Randy was the safest option, in my opinion, to where it wouldn't hurt anybody. Again, you're right. You can't pin Trick. He just got here. You can't pin Sami. They're in fucking Canada. And you're planning on having him go over anyway. You can't pin Damian because you're going to keep fucking taking his momentum away, his credibility, and no one's ever going to see him as world title material ever again. Randy's a 14-time world champion. He is beloved. They pin Rey Mysterio all the fucking time, and it doesn't do a goddamn thing to him. It would not have hurt Randy to take the pin here to save Damian's credibility. I just feel bad for how they're booking him at this point. I really do.
Well, you guys, we just concluded another week of fucking content after content after content. So, in public, in front of the whole world, I want to say you guys are awesome. I appreciate all the hard work you guys did. I mean, we did Raw, we did NXT, we did predictions, we did SmackDown, we did Saturday Night's Main Event. But
Thursday
next week,
one-on-one.
Thursday night on TikTok Live one-on-one. But next week, we're going to do that shit again.
All over again.
Next week, we got the
God damn
Royal
it.
Rumble, right? We got one more Monday Night Raw. We got one more NXT. We got one more SmackDown. And then we got the Rumble, which is going to be dope because the Rumble is also the start of a lot of feuds, if you guys think about it.
Yeah.
That's where we find out.
Yeah, and the returns. Bring my girl AJ back in the Women's Royal Rumble. But, yeah, man, like John Cena loves to say, time to go to work. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Snug Wrestling here on YouTube Live, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you want to fucking call it. We're live on those three platforms. Point is, if you like kicking with us, you can do it every Monday and Friday after Raw and SmackDown go on off the air, respectively, for live post-show reviews. For bonus content, you can check out all of our socials during the shows for segment-to-segment reactions. You can kick with us every Thursday night for an hour on TikTok Live, where myself, Mr. Blood, and the head of Snug Wrestling, Edgar, go one-on-one for random or relevant wrestling topics, and we answer your fan questions live. On top of that, you can also hang out with us and mark your calendar for next Wednesday ahead of the Royal Rumble. We will be doing predictions at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Central for predictions for Royal Rumble. And by the way, those are the exact same times that you can catch us on TikTok Live that I previously mentioned. And you can support the podcast by heading to our tpublic.com/Snug Wrestling to pick up your wrestling merch from Snug Wrestling. Over 100 custom designs made by us, produced by us, on tons of different types of apparel, items, magnets, stickers, your sister's ass, I heard it's lovely, and much more. So until then, guys, make sure that this is one time for the one time, and stay safe, stay savage, stay snug. Boys, I said that was
Four letters.
Four letters.
One word.
One word.
Uh,
Uh.
yeet.
Peace.